Back. Reports of my demise have been greatly exaggerated. Had to take a long break. Life got busy, but I wanted to do a brief video on when I think the war in Iran will end. And I think I'm probably gonna hit this on the head. If you follow my TikTok, which I'll show at the end, you'll see that I've made tons of predictions about war with Iran starting, Greenland discussions starting, and other things like that, and they have come to fruition. And so I wanted to show you guys what I'm seeing. Also made a prediction that we'll see an uptick in domestic terror, and that's what I wanted to showcase in the beginning of the video. I specifically said that we'll see probably terrorist events in America, and that I wouldn't be surprised if some kind of explosive energy surrounding airplanes happened, and that almost happened yesterday. So this is the power of astrology. If you aren't a believer, watch this video, and I think I can make you a believer. So again, all that stuff is on my TikTok. I'll show it at the end. If you don't believe that I made these predictions, go watch my TikToks, check the dates, and you'll see that pretty much everything that I've said is going to happen is happening right now. So I'll highlight this before I show the video and show the astrological signs that people should pay attention to. But I said things would start, that we'd see probably explosive events sometime between March 9th and March 17th is probably the hot window. Extended out to the March 20th if you want to err on the side of caution. But again, I said March 9th, and this happened March 8th or March 7th. So this is the power of astrology. So again, I said explosive energy, domestic terror, some kind of violence in America, and I wouldn't be surprised if there was explosive energy around airplanes. And if we look at Laura Loomer's tweet here, she tweeted Southwest Airlines Flight 2094 from Nashville to Fort Lauderdale, Florida, was forced to divert to Atlanta last night after an Arabic-looking Muslim passenger aboard the plane threatened to blow the plane up with I'm not going to say the word so I don't get flagged, but you can see the SWAT team apprehend the Muslim passenger while terrified passengers were forced to put their hands up. And I'm not going to repeat the rest because I don't agree with the things she's saying, but we'll take a look here. This happened yesterday.
Everybody heads down. Stand up.
Just trying to be the street bathroom.
Stand up. Let's go. Stand up. Everybody heads down. Stand up.
Stay down.
Stand up.
Tell him to stay down.
So as we can see here, SWAT team apprehending someone who put a bomb threat out on a plane, and that's exactly what I said would happen. I said domestic terror and explosive events, and that I wouldn't be surprised if there was some kind of explosive event having to do with an airplane. And I'll show you guys why I thought that later. But again, this is the power of astrology. If you're not tuned in, tune the fuck in and pay attention, because it can help you figure out what's going to happen. It's like knowing the weather. You wouldn't want to go outside in a blizzard without a jacket and things like that. So here is what's going on astrologically. If you guys have questions on the details, drop them in the comments. I'm going to just talk like you probably have a general knowledge base. I think the videos flow a little better that way. So again, I use Vedic astrology. It's much more powerful for predictive astrology and to see what's going to happen. What I'm looking at is America's chart based on the signing of the Declaration of Independence, the signing of the Constitution, 4th of July, 1776, 5:10 p.m., Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. And we're looking at today, as you can see on the right. So what I want to point out is America is a Scorpio ascendant. We're ruled by Mars. And what you need to pay attention to, within 5 degrees is like the window where things get pretty bad. 3 degrees is like you're sure to see some kind of action in a direct conjunction of these two planets right here. Well, the North Node, Rahu, isn't a planet, but again, energy is the same. It matters. Our ruling planet Mars conjunct the North Node at 4 degrees right now. That is called Ankaric Yoga and can be seen in a chart as explosive energy. I pointed out in one of my videos that when Mars is directly conjunct the South Node, which sits across directly the North Node at all times, 9/11 happened. So anytime you see Mars conjunct Rahu in a chart, especially when they're super close, you can expect that person to be extremely fiery, explosive, argumentative. And when you see it conjunct in a country's chart in transit, you can expect explosive energy to happen. And this is happening in our 4th house, which is the house of home comfort. And that's why I said domestic terror would happen, because we have this explosive energy basically in the house of our own house. And what I mean by house in our own house is the house, the 4th house in our house of home. So again, comfort space, country. And it being an Aquarius is an air sign. So I said explosive energy in the air. And again, we see domestic terror on airplanes. Again, when these planets get close to each other within 3 degrees is when you really have to pay attention. That starts tomorrow on the 9th, and I think it extends through the 17th. So in that window, you should really have your eyes and ears open, pay attention to your surroundings, take care of you and yours, and hopefully we'll get through it without issue. But again, we've seen a few instances of domestic terror, and again, as they get closer to each other, I would expect this to continue to happen. They're directly conjunct on the 13th. So on that day specifically, you got to be careful. I don't want to put doom and gloom out there, but you'll do what you want to do. But if I were you, I would consider it a day where staying home makes a lot of sense. This 13th, that is 5 days from now, so that will be a Thursday, Friday. Next weekend might be a day or a weekend just cool out. So we'll keep this going. What I want to point out, that was a lot of doom and gloom. And if you want a prediction that might make you feel better, I think that we'll see peace in the Middle East, peace with Iran, probably this summer. And the reason why I think that is the greater benefic Jupiter will be exalted in Cancer starting on this date, June 2nd. And I believe it stays there all summer. And like you really can't have a better placement of Jupiter. That energy is amazing and should provide protection and, like I said, hopefully peace. That's in our 9th house. That's the house of destiny. And each planet, most planets have special aspects across houses. So I'm just checking when it exits Cancer. Looks like it'll be there from June to about November. So sometime in that window, I think we'll definitely see peace, and I'll give you more information on why I think that later. But quick information on the aspects. Jupiter has a special aspect of the 5th house from itself, the 7th house, and the 9th house. So if we count from 9, 9 is 1, 10 is 2, 11 is 3, 12 is 4, 1 is 5. So our 1st house, America, will be protected by this exalted Jupiter. That's a very good thing. That tells me that whatever issues we're dealing with, we'll probably win. Keep going. 2nd house is the 6th house from the 9th house. 3rd house is the 7th house from the 9th house. That's another special aspect of Jupiter. The 3rd house is the house of efforts. So again, like, America will be protected, but also the efforts that we're in will be protected by Jupiter. And combine the 3rd house with the 9th house energy where Jupiter is sitting. that tells me like the things that we're doing are kind of bound by destiny, and whatever conflicts we're in, we're probably going to win. And then the ninth house aspect from Jupiter in the ninth house would be on the fifth house. Fifth house is Pisces right here. And I know I'm like I might be talking over a lot of people's heads, but if you have questions, I'm happy to address them in the comments. But fifth house is Pisces here. That gets the ninth aspect of Jupiter. That is the house of creative expression, progeny, fruits, intelligence, things that come out of you into the world. So again, like America will be protected. The conflict and efforts we're giving out will be protected, and then the things we produce will be protected. So I think we'll win this war. I know most people don't. I think we'll do it in a way that provides peace. So almost done here, but I wanted to show people the last time Jupiter was exalted in Cancer was the summer of 2014. Jupiter moves slow. I think it's like on a 16-year cycle, something like that. 12, 13 years, something like that. Anyways, it was exalted in Jupiter the summer of 2014. Hopefully all you guys were born then, but if you can't recall what happened, that was the summer of the Brazilian World Cup. For me, that was a fun time, good energy out in the air, and good things happened. And another reason why I think we'll see peace with Iran is because literally last time, summer of 2014, what happened? I looked up events, and we see that mid 2015, Iran nuclear deal. So we literally signed a deal to limit Iran's nuclear program, which was a major diplomatic breakthrough. That was 2015 June. So let me see. Yep. Jupiter was still in Cancer exalted. So literally the last time Jupiter transited this energy in its exalted state, we had a peace deal with Iran. So again, you kind of just have to like look at astrology once you know the fundamentals as, you know, putting a song together or painting. You got to use your right brain instead of just your left brain. Well, honestly, you got to use both of them, but you have to see patterns, and this is a pattern that we should acknowledge. Peace with Iran last time Jupiter was exalted. Maybe expect the same thing this time around. So again, Jupiter will be exalted in Cancer from June of this year to October. So if I had to put money down, call me a betting man, I'd say that we find peace with Iran sometime in that time. So TLDR, I know this is a long video, but expect explosive energy for about the next week. Take care of yourselves, keep your eyes and ears open, and like I really do mean that. I wouldn't be surprised if we see some kind of terror event. I'm not gonna like speak to or argue with people about like who's doing it. I just think it's gonna happen. And so take care of yourselves. Stay home. Keep your eyes and ears open, and then expect some kind of peace deal. Hopefully, fingers crossed, between June and October. If I had to put money down, I would say it's gonna happen. So this is the power of astrology. You guys should pay attention. Go watch my videos to see that I really did predict all this stuff. My TikTok is down the rabbit hole news too. And you can see these, they're like the most recent ones. So up until this picture of a book, I believe were all astrological predictions. And then also the ones with like astrology charts like we see here on the left here that I'm highlighting. Pay attention to those and go see that I've been predicting these things and they have come true. So pay attention, make use of it. If you have questions, drop them in the comments. Let's hope that I'm not posting here within the week saying I told you should have paid attention. But if you're here now, pay attention. March 9th through the 17th, the 20th if you are super cautious. Be careful.